All right. It's 8 o'clock, my friend. You ready to go?
Eight on the dot. Eight on the dot.
Let's do
So
this.
let's make it happen, Captain. What are we talking
All
about
right.
today, Tony?
Well, we are talking about goals, and just to kind of give everyone an introduction, this is the Barry Male Experience, and
Welcome.
for short, BME. So we've made a lot of headway. You've been seeing a lot of content being posted. We are really making a big push to have a platform for bariatric males in the community. Um, so giving us the space for us to be able to talk about the things that we deal with as bariatric patients. Um, we are a very small community. 19% of bariatric surgeries in the United States are for bariatric men. So it's a very small percentage, and just on this platform, it's probably even smaller than that. So we want to make sure that there is a space for us to be able to talk about things that only males understand. Um, while there is a lot of content that is relatable to all of us for all bariatric patients, there are certain things that men do deal with and maybe aren't so keen to sharing with everyone. So we are giving you that space here at the Barry Mill Experience.
The Barry Male Experience. So look, at this time, we want to go ahead and give a shout out to most of you all that are joining us today. Tonight, it's super happy, me and Tony, to have you. Bear with us as we kind of work through trying to get technical difficulties out of the way. We have roll call and all that good music up, lined up, and first times in, but it's all good. But Barry Mother, thanks for being here, Bariatric Bro. What's happening? Ween's Journey. How you doing?
Miss
J-
Mamiana, thank you for all those likes. I appreciate you being here.
JME, Jason JP. Regs get smaller. What's
Yeah,
happening?
we got Regs in there. We got Bariatric Bro here. We got Jason here.
Shell,
I think
Haley,
I saw AJ in there.
AJ's in there. AJ, big boy to slim boy. Kia, what's happening? Good to see you. Thanks for coming through. Daisy, VSG Titan, what's
All
happening?
right.
And you know
So,
what? You got the Miss Mama. You said her name right yesterday.
Mamiana
Mami Yana. She here.
just
Find it.
rolls off the
Kaylin.
tongue.
Shane, D-Lock, weight
All
loss.
right.
Claudia, what's happening, bitch pudding? Good to see y'all, Just Dave. Thanks for
Thank you
joining
for coming
us.
in. All right. You ready to get started there, my friend? I think we got a lot of people popping in here.
Can you do
Just
me a
make
favor,
sure.
Tony? Can you do me a
Sure.
huge favor?
What
Can
can I
you
do for you?
tell me who the hell is Tony D? How's your
Tony
journey been?
D. My journey has actually been really good. So, my name is Tony D, if you don't know who I am. And I had VSG surgery on 2/13/23. My heaviest weight was 425 pounds. I am now currently down to 250 pounds for a total of 175 pounds lost. Um, so the reasons why I chose to have weight loss surgery was quality of life. Like the rest of us, the quality of life that we have it was it wasn't the greatest. A lot of underlying health issues. I had a back injury back in 2013 that became, as I got heavier, debilitating. Um, I had severe obstructive sleep apnea, which put me on a BiPAP machine. I had high blood pressure. I was taking multiple blood pressure medications. I'm currently down to one and just waiting to hear adjustments on that. I had a hiatal hernia that gave me the underlying issue of acid reflux. So, and the crazy thing about this, and I don't really I don't really agree with the BMI scale. I think it could be, those numbers really mess with people's heads. But I just happened to take a look. I'm on the app that I have. It gives you what your BMI is. I started off at a 62.8. I am currently down to a 36.9 on my BMI, which is
Damn.
crazy to me. So,
Progress.
yeah, and you know, those little things, yes, those can be little NSVs. And
Yeah.
but again, I don't let the numbers um tell me the full story. You know, the full
Mm,
story is like when I'm the little things, you know, being able to, you know, run down the street now with my kids and being able to walk up the stairs without being, you know, winded. Um, Bending over to tie my shoes, you know, little things like that. So
mm.
a lot to be
Like
grateful for. It's been a great year. I'm excited about the new year. So what
like
about you,
Jason
Rab?
like Jason said, it's not a little NSV,
A lot
you
of
know.
little NSVs for a bigger NSV. And that's
I
just a
feel it.
healthier lifestyle and a healthier Tony D.
I hear you.
It all adds up.
Right.
So WT Barry, Rab,
What
my
the
friend,
bariatric is going on around here? I tell you, man,
why
it's
don't you
been
give us the
crazy.
411 on you?
So you're like 10 months, right, Tony?
I'm at 10 months, yeah. I'll be
Yeah,
11 months on the 13th.
okay. I'm I'm 7 months, so we're still babies here. We don't know a whole lot. We're still experiencing this thing, right? Like
Yes, we
it's
are.
just starting. Like I've just been able to get to the point where I can actually eat food, and get it down before it gets cold, So that's where I'm at about 7 months. Um, I decided to get the surgery uh about 8 months into the program. I had got the information from start to finish. 8 months was in my program. I figured if I could lose the weight on my own and actually get into the gym and start working out and lose the weight before I get under the knife, then I would avoid getting the surgery. But I did not accomplish that feat. My heaviest was 328 pounds, but I was a very I got to say, I was a very unhealthy 328 pounds. I was pushing about 3 to 4, maybe 5,000 calories a day, eating McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 328, graduated to diabetes, and I definitely had sleep apnea. I had my little Darth Vader mask. And I just started at 49 years old. I just started to get prescribed blood pressure medication. So it was all the red flags were up and the green lights were on to get the surgery. So I got the surgery at 328, 314, from 328 to 314. Got the surgery, and today, I'm weighing in like at 208 pounds. So I got quite the loss. I've met my goal, you know, but now I got new goals because I knew that I was told that would happen, and it definitely did. Um, and it's time to move forward and try to start taking care of my health a little bit more and develop some goals to maintain that. You had mentioned, Tony, earlier about your journey thus far. Can you think, and I want the chat to join you in this question. I got a question. What goals from where you are right now, like where you are today with your journey, do you have any goals that you've set forth? And before you answer that question, are they goals or are they New Year resolutions? And that's for the chat too. You got goals or New Year resolutions. I even heard words, people using words, but goals or New Year resolutions. What you got, Tony?
So I'm trying something different this year, and I'm actually going with goals. Because obviously we all say, oh, the New Year's resolution. I haven't done very well with New Year's resolutions. So different mindset. So I'm going to try a different word, and I'm going to use goals this year because goals have worked for me last year. I had to set goals, you know, to get into this new lifestyle and to be successful in this new lifestyle. So, but I'm carrying goals over from last year. So if I'm going to have the right mindset, I have to complete my goals. So the one goal that I did set, and this was set like before I even like when I first started my journey, as I sat down with my surgeon, um, he asked how much I wanted to lose. I told him I wanted to lose 200 pounds. This god awful astronomical number that I was just throwing out there. Never in my mind did I ever think I was going to do this in a 10-month period. So I'm down 175 in 10 months. I'm still in that grace period or that honeymoon period up, for another what, 9 to 10 months or something. So I want to get down to 225 to put
Right.
that old goal. I want to put that goal to rest. I want to say I completed that goal, and I want to put that one goal to rest and say, all right, I completed that goal for this part of my journey.
Right.
And then
Y-
and then I have goals that I want to become the healthiest version of me. So
Yeah.
what's the healthiest version of me? I don't quite know that yet.
hmm
I
But
mean,
you want to find out. You're
I
gonna
want to
find
find
out.
out, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to put a plan together to do that
Oh,
because
weight
I'm gonna
loss.
need to stay on track.
Weight loss cardio said, build that muscle, fellas.
Oh, I'm working on that.
Yeah, I hit the gym 2 days in a row. That's big for me. Day one. JP,
Yeah,
building muscle.
yeah, definitely building
hmm
muscle. And the funny thing is that after the male panel with the very intentional chat, after seeing all of the guys, I'm like, I hadn't started working out yet. Like I had lost a
hmm
lot of weight not working out. A lot of it was just walking. And walking is a great form of just like getting yourself to like get yourself moving.
hmm
But eventually, like it can get a little tedious. Like all I'm doing is walking. Maybe you want to try something new. Maybe you want to start challenging yourself. I used to love going to the gym. It's still a little bit tough to get me going. So I'm still working out at home. So I got myself I do a little home workout. I still do chair exercises that help me do my, ab crunches. I'm doing push-ups off of incline push-ups off of like the sofa and off of like windowsills, and I have resistance bands that I'm doing all of my like just to try to tone up and start building up a little bit of muscle. I actually just joined the gym. I just got a gym membership. That's my next goal, is to step into the gym and start working out again. Because yes, I like lifting. I always liked lifting. Um, so that's my intent, and I expect to follow through on it because I think a lot of us always have that intent going into the new year, and then we don't follow through on a lot of things that we set our minds to. Because again, you could have the right mindset, but you need to make your body do something. You need to actually put yourself through the door to actually like start moving.
hmm
So it's getting my mind like in the right place because I do want to set myself up for to succeed. Because once I at the we look at the end of 2024, I'm staring right into the face of maintenance mode. So like I want to set myself up for the future by being the best version of me starting this year. So it's
Jason,
just
Jason, Jason said he wants to sprint race to his kids this year.
and you'll get there.
hmm
Definitely. And I feel
And you,
like there's a lot of people in this community that are doing the things that they need to do. And it's exciting for me to see that because it motivates me to do the same thing.
JME, her word for this year is unapologetic.
There you go.
And
I
then
love it.
Regs, he wants to play hockey comfortably again. I can imagine getting down doing them splits. Hey, real quick, a shout out, Maria. Happy birthday, girl! It's
Oh,
your
happy
birthday.
birthday.
It's your birthday.
So I've given you my goals so far.
Yeah,
What's it looking like for you, my friend?
man. I gotta work on, I want to make sure I got my nutrition right. I want to really get in tune with that because I've felt myself, I've lost the weight, in a positive way, but I feel like I don't look healthy. I know I'm healthy because I've done my labs. We've had this conversation. I've done my
Yeah.
labs. I called you crying about it. We've done my labs and they came back fine, but I just don't feel right. And the only thing can come down to is nutrition, you know, and I find myself going back into my old little habits of just snacking. And it's like it's okay, like it's protein chips and it's full of protein and low carbs and stuff like that, but it's still snacking, it's still grazing. So I'm still like it's still there,
And it's the
those
wrong and it's the wrong things that you're snacking on. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
saying that protein chips are bad and the
No.
protein bars, like you can have these things, but again, moderation.
Yeah,
You want
exactly.
I want to tell you that natural foods is what's going to make you feel better.
Yeah,
Now, and
but
that's my opinion.
but moderation, the moderation deal is there. I'm still there. I'm still 7 months post op. I can't eat but so much shit, man. You
But
know,
highly
so the
processed foods,
moderation's
man.
there. But it is processed stuff like
Yeah.
Chex Mix. What else was I eating that day? Nothing too
Yeah,
bad. It was
I've seen you snack on the Chex Mix. Um, but
like
like
popcorn. Yeah.
again, and it's not a bad thing to have these little things. I mean, we can't deny ourselves these things. I mean, eventually we're going to be able to, I mean, for the most part, I think I can eat everything right now. My stomach has been able to tolerate whatever. And I've been fortunate with that. I feel that my journey has been very good to me because I see a lot of people that struggle with, water intake or protein intake. Um, you know, I didn't have a lot of issues. I've been very fortunate, and that doesn't mean that I might not have them further out. Things happen, but I still allow myself little things here and there. But I need to be mindful of those things, and I got to be mindful about what I'm putting into my body because for me, if I want to be the healthiest version of myself, I can't just keep shoving processed stuff into my mouth.
Yeah.
So I know I really need to.
Especially with our history, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we live, especially me. I lived off of processed food.
Yeah.
I mean, that can't be your number one diet of processed stuff. So and as a very wise person has told me, be intentional.
Yeah.
I want to be intentional with what I want to eat. I need to follow through on eating the
Yeah.
right things, the things that are
Exactly.
good for me, that
Yeah.
I know that are going to help me become that healthier version.
Yeah.
So it's stepping out and actually taking accountability for the things that I'm going to eat, and that's developing a plan, um, developing discipline with my relationship with food because it's still not the greatest. I'm 10 months out. I'm still working on that.
So when you talk about maintenance, what are you talking about with maintenance? I mean, the obvious. We're talking about nutrition. We're talking about working out and maintaining exercise, getting moving, whether it be walking, sitting up, getting up off the damn floor. I mean, what is maintenance to you? What do you mean?
So I mean, honestly, again, it's one of those things that maintenance is like it's out there in front of me, and I've I haven't quite found what maintenance is going to be for me. I know that I want to be set myself up for when I get there.
Mm,
So, again, I'm not going to deny myself certain things. I'm like, if when I get to maintenance and there's a birthday party, I want to be able to say, you know what, I can have myself a piece of cake. But I know that I'm going to have the self control to be like, okay, I had my slice of cake. I'm okay. I don't need any more.
mm.
It's not sitting there, going, oh my God. Like, to give you the best example is, and we just went through it, was the holiday season from basically Thanksgiving to, I would even say, New Year's Eve. If we had Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner, I weigh my meal for everything. I weigh all my food. Those 2 days, and especially the snacking happens. I was snacking on things that I probably shouldn't have been snacking on, and probably grazing more than I should have, because there's a lot of holiday parties. There's a lot of food just on those 2 days alone. Those 2 days, I did not have self-control. I didn't even weigh my food. It was just a plate full of everything that I loved. And to not have self-control and not to show that self-control, bothers me because that tells me that I don't have the self-control. I want to get to, so my goal is to get to Easter because that's going to be probably the next big meal is to actually be able to say that, all right, I can still have everything that I love there, but I'm going to portion it correctly. And I'm not
So
going to
you don't.
overeat and I'm not going to eat the food as fast as I possibly can.
So hold on a second. You don't have restriction at 10 almost 11 months. You don't have restriction.
Tell you the truth, I probably do, but do I
I think there's a difference between and those of you in the chat that know. I mean, me and Tony, like I said, this is all learning experience.
yeah.
You, it might be because you have the sleeve. I had the bypass. So,
I
I
mean, I
mean, with
can
me and my restrictions, I can't, man. Hey, look, man, it's probably a damn good thing for me, seriously, because I get pissed off. I can't eat as much as I really would like to or what I could sometimes. Now, I don't know if that's because I can't, because of my pouch, or because I I just like the way it sounds or feels when I talk shit, because I'm really not going to eat that much food. I damn sure didn't want to put myself on the table for absolutely no reason. And I know it happens. I know people, have setbacks. I get it. I understand. I respect that. That's you, but I'm talking about me. Um, I want to make sure that I don't fall back into those old habits again. And
exactly.
it's really hard. So with that being said, not only do I want to learn my nutrition and get that down pat, I also want to work on what you said, or make a goal to work on like maintaining maintenance, like learning my body, understanding my body and what works and trying new things. That I also want to make a goal to get a therapist, you know, because most important to me out of this whole journey, and I'm sure most of you in the comments, and Tony, you can agree that nobody ever says this. I saw this today. Nobody ever says that one of their goals or New Year's resolutions, whatever it may be, is to love yourself.
Yeah.
Love yourself. And I need to learn how to love myself all over again. I mean, I'm 50 years old. I was obese for years, man. You know,
Yeah.
we never put ourselves first. When is it time for us to start loving ourselves,
All right. And hold that thought. JME asked of, do you have certain foods that are good one day and not so good the other? For her, it's chicken. Um, I really don't have any foods that don't agree with me. Like I've been able to eat pretty much everything since I started on my solid foods, and nothing's bothered me um, if I've had it further down the line. What about you, Rab?
Yeah, yeah. It's when I eat. When I eat, for me, like I could like chicken one day and not like it the next, but I get caught up in not really paying attention about how fast I eat. Sometimes I get caught up on what the flavor rather than the savor. The loudest voice you'll hear all day is the one inside your head. Make sure it's kind to you, Jason Smith.
So,
That's the
and
truth.
saying something kind to yourself. I think that kind of goes in line with loving yourself, right?
Mm,
So
mm,
one of the things that I have the intent on doing, and I actually started on it starting actually yesterday, was I was saying I was gonna. So when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is obviously I go into the restroom, and I also when I brush my teeth, the first thing I do is I look myself dead square in the eyes and I look at myself. And when I was at my heaviest and when I was at my lowest, there was a lot of times that I would probably say something negative. I'm like, look at you. What are you doing to yourself? You're not getting any better. When are you going to actually do something with your life? A lot of it was negative. So, my thing for this year was to actually say something positive to myself every single morning.
mm.
So, And that's part of loving yourself because you have to be able to find something that's good about you. Even if I'm saying the same thing every single day, even if I'm going to tell myself, you know what, you are going to crush your goals today. I want something positive coming out and saying it to myself, and I want to look myself dead square in the eyes because if I go into the day with the right attitude, it's only going to make the day go that way. Because if I start off on a negative, on a negative, on a negative note, I mean, what's the rest of my day going to look like if I'm already starting the day off negative? So starting the day off in a positive way, I think will lead towards more positive things. And you
And
got to
that's not,
start the day with that mindset.
yeah, but that's natural. Like that's easier said than done. You
It
know,
is
I mean,
easier said than done, but
eh,
you have to make that intent. And of course, this is what I feel is going to work for me. You might need to do something different.
yeah, like therapy, because it's just been way there's more to it though, right? Like it's what got us to the disease in the first place, right? It's abandonment issues. You know, it's those
Mm,
issues with not having parents. It's growing up in foster care. It's growing up in the hood. It's leaving home when 15 years old. It's four
yeah,
kids by four different women. It's two failed marriages. You know, it's kids you can't take care of as much as you really want to take care of. And then, then it's the drug abuse from the past, and then obesity and getting so big in the first place that you actually had to have a surgery just because you fell victim to the addiction, you know, and you just couldn't get out of it. So then you get all that taken care of, and you can't hide behind the drugs and you can't hide behind the food, and you got to take these things face on, man. And you're 50 years in the game.
yeah,
It's like, damn, all you constantly think about all day, me, all I constantly think about all day is, damn, I wasted so much time. Uh, it's easier said than done to say, hey, you got tomorrow. You got to figure it out tomorrow. And that's what's gotten me this far. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I've gotten this far for feeling and thinking that way, but it still sits in the back of our minds, those of
yeah.
us who
And
can
I think
resonate
a
with what I'm
lot of us,
saying.
and that's part of living in the past. And how do we move forward? We can't move forward if we're constantly looking back. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like if you wanna, it's the road to self-improvement is to move forward. And
Yeah,
I really feel like for me is to give myself that the start of the day on a positive thing. And
right.
again, this idea actually came from my therapist was to tell myself something positive every day because I used to tell him that I would wake up and I would just be miserable and see like the bags under my eyes, especially before I even got on my CPAP. Like, and I mean, I looked like walking death. And,
Yeah,
and I mean, it's very hard um, to get up and look at yourself and think about whether you know you're gonna make it through the day or if you're gonna like even come home because you don't know if you're gonna drop dead of a heart attack or a stroke or I mean you're walking around and you feel awful and you don't feel good
right.
about yourself and you just don't have it's a very lonely feeling sometimes because you feel like that you're the only one that feels that way.
Yeah. I know though, I know though that I'm not, because I have, you know, a mental health background where I worked with people with mental health issues and on the psych ward. Um, I am a social worker, so I know how to work and speak with people and manage other people's problems or issues. But when it comes to my own, I am so disorganized. And that is something that you have to make sure. And I'm in the process. This is, remember, we're talking goals and resolutions, right?
Hmm.
This is a goal of mine to get a therapist. I see everyone in the comments, they're saying things about, hey, get a therapist and work on. Hey, that's already, we're already going there. Dave's Dimes Help, you know, he talked about it. You know, we
Positive
learn,
affirmation. You see
yeah,
Dave's comment on
yeah,
positive affirmations. He feels
that
silly and
always
weird
feel.
about it.
Yeah,
I believe
yeah,
me, I feel
yeah,
silly talking to myself in the
yeah.
mirror, but here I am talking into a phone, and
Yeah.
there's currently 33 people in here, and I don't even see them. So, I
Mm.
mean, if I can do that, I can talk to myself in the mirror. I'm my own best friend.
Water check. Water check.
All right, you got me. Water check.
Sip every 10. Yeah. So goals for Barry Male Experience. What do you see, Tony? What do you see?
I I see a lot of big things if we can definitely reach out to, other bariatric males, but we need them to come, you know, to actually come here and come
A
to this
thousand,
space.
1,000 followers. That's the first goal. It's obtainable. It's measurable. 1,000
So
followers.
I know it's important for me because when I first joined the bariatric community here, I felt like I didn't know a lot of people. Man, I didn't even meet you, Rab, until almost 7, 8 months of my journey. And that's just by seeing you in a different live. We really didn't really connect until maybe a month ago. So I want to say,
Yeah, but we connected before.
but it
Cause I
was
was like, I
scary.
was like, damn, Tony, yeah, dude, look good. He almost looked like me. He just got the beard on. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
And
it's
I would like to see us, like you, engage with more our very male brothers, and you know, I would like to graduate. Not to say that TikTok is a bad platform, because it's not. Because I always use the platform on TikTok as my main go-to, because that TikTok, this whole bariatric community, I gotta say, man, uh, now that I've shared a little bit of my personal info with you all, you guys like saved my motherfucking life. Like, you guys have saved me, and I appreciate everything that you all have poured into me. I got a lot going on up here in this mind, and you've done a lot for me. So I will always be a TikToker, bariatric community connoisseur. But with that being said, I'd like to do podcasts, man, and public speaking. That's a goal of mine this year. It's way overdue, you know, and
you
that's
you
that's every.
definitely have the charisma to do it. You definitely got the voice to do it, and you definitely know what to say.
Yeah, but
You're very outspoken,
I
and it's but
appreciate
in a
those
good
kind
way.
words. I really appreciate those kind words, Tony. And I truly believe that you feel that way, man. But I don't remember shit.
And I feel like being on this platform is going to help me open up because I'm still very reserved. There's a lot of things that I haven't said to be um, to everyone, and
You
that's
think
just
you're
me. To me, like I'm still feeling a lot of things out because there's a lot of things that I have going on that I just don't talk about. I really keep it. Um, I'm very quiet, and I do talk to my therapist about it. And I come here because I like to hear other people's journeys and stories because it reassures me that I'm not the only one going through some of this stuff. But that's the
Yeah,
other thing as far as other bariatric males, because we want them to feel the same way. We want to give them the space that they have to they can become comfortable in saying, "Hey, you know what? I have a question. Like, are you going through this too? Are you dealing with the same thing I'm dealing with?" Because it's one thing, to talk, this is a very large community that is predominantly female, and I appreciate everything that they've done for me, in the 10 months that I've been on here. But there are certain things that, I feel like I can't talk about because I don't think they could understand it coming from my point of view. And that's part of this platform is being able for me to open up um, with other bariatric males.
mm, yeah. Um, so I would like to ask those of you in the chat, when we talk about goals, right? What types of what specific ways do you incorporate goals into your life? Like if you want to achieve something, can you put in a chat like the things that you may do to achieve those goals and why they do that? Why are, you know, followers and those in the comments in the chat box respond to that question, Tony? What do you use to achieve your goals? Like what are some thoughts that you could think of? Did you hear me, Tony?
I'm sorry, I had it was going in and out.
I asked the chat to share with me, you know, how they achieve their goals. Like what things do we do to achieve goals? And I asked you, could you share any ways that you would think of to achieve certain goals and like stay on the course, not like, you know, this is what I want to do. It didn't work out. There was an obstacle or setback. How do I stay on tack? How do I keep going? You know, instead of falling off and putting it on the backside like we did with like I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow, or you going consistently to the gym for like 3 months and then miss 2 days and not get back in the gym. Like, how do we stay the course?
So I think in at least for the last 10 months, and this is the other thing I want to work on is because I think it's mindset is I've been running off of fear. Running the fear has pushed me to try to stay on track because I don't want to end up back to 425 again.
Right.
I don't want to be that person. I am deathly afraid of being who I was because
Wow,
I've
wow.
worked so far.
Look at the chat. Sarah said, I start out small and a goal to achieve them, sometimes writing them down.
And that is
Vision.
that is actually a great suggestion because I've
Yeah,
actually been writing things down about the things that I want to do because in it's you know me, Rab, I like to write things down. I have
yeah,
lots and lots of notes that I just keep in front of me and that's all it's I feel like writing things down, I don't forget them. And if I write them down, I can refer back to things. If I create myself even a checklist, I just saw something in a comment, a gym bag. Keep the gym bag in your car. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. I got the gym bag in the car.
make sure you're bringing a gym bag with you. I mean,
Yeah, my
that's the key. And I used so when I used to go to the gym, I used to keep the gym bag in the front seat because it was the first thing I saw when I got in, and I would drive straight to the gym after work. Um, I haven't quite worked my way up there yet.
Dano is stupid, man. Dano RNY. I plan my success daily. Pack my, you know, pew pew bag every night. Goes right into the truck. I know that's right. Ah, ah. Pre-pack healthy snacks, map out a
Yeah,
plan in a planner, and make appointments for yourself,
yeah.
just like we do at work. That's right. I mean, if you do it at work, you damn sure should be able to do it for yourself. I saw that big calendar that they're selling, you know, the year calendar. It takes up the whole daggone wall. Arisa, I set rewards non-food related and remind myself by my whys.
All
Yep.
right. So,
That's
Rab,
what's up.
I don't know if we can all see it.
Yeah, I
There
can
you
see
go.
it.
And I showed you this. It's got my notes. It's got a calendar in there. So, writing things down. Like my intent this year is to write things down and to keep myself like on track. I have a ton of paper. If I want to write things down, I can write things down. I can write down my feelings about things. I can write things that I want to do.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, I have to have more intent about what I'm doing, but I need to follow through on it. And then I need to hold myself accountable for these things. But
yeah,
like I tell you all the time, we talk about like just how our eating habits. I make sure that I make my lunch. I don't meal plan at the beginning of the week. I don't spend a whole Sunday cooking. I just haven't been able to do it. But I make sure that I have my food ready for the next day. Um, So I have something. I have a packed bag, so I'm not going out to buy anything. So I have my snacks in there. I have my lunch. I have my breakfast. I make sure that I have what I need, to get me through the day. So when I get home, I can eat dinner. And then if I have leftovers or I can make myself something out for the next day, I always make sure
Right.
that I have food ready.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, let me make a quick interruption. Pardon me, Tony. We have a report that everyone should continue to tune in every Tuesday for the Bari Male Experience at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific. See you every Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, go on. You have form back. My bad.
That was perfect.
Um, Practice
Did
makes perfect.
did you do that all on memory or did you write it down?
Progress, not perfection.
I
I
have to
can
write it
read.
down.
Ah,
Again, hence I write everything down.
So specific goals, you list your specific goals, you make them measurable, achievable, relevant. And then there's one, time bound. What does time bound mean to you when establishing goals, Tony? And chat, what does time bound mean to you, chat, when establishing goals? Time bound, trick question.
Oh, so you did you I think you just tricked my mind. What do you mean by time bound? Do you mean like a time frame?
Yeah, you have to they have to be achievable goals. They have to be measurable. But when do you want to achieve those goals? Like how do you determine that? And if you determine that, yes, you got to choose that SMART goals. If you determine that time, is that dangerous? Because it would be dangerous for me.
It would also be
That's like,
dangerous for me because if I
yeah.
gave myself a time frame, if I didn't make that time frame, that it's very easy if I was, it's easy for someone to become discouraged if I didn't make it. So, like I said, like my goal this year is to complete my goal from last year when I started was to hit 225. I don't have a time frame on that yet. I
Right.
mean, so ultimately I do have a time frame, but it's a very long time frame because I have the honeymoon period. I wasn't expecting to get to 175 pounds down, in this time frame. I was expecting to be down, when I read, my pamphlet and I talked to my surgeon, that average weight loss of like whatever the max was like 85 pounds. I was like, okay, I jump started myself. This is going to jump start me, and then I have, my 18 to 24-month window to get there.
Hmm.
I mean, honestly, I still have, another 10, 14 months. I don't think it's going to take me that long to get there, especially if I continue with, what I've been doing. I think I'll be there a lot sooner than later because I know that I'm going to hit 225. There isn't even a doubt in my mind that I'm going to hit this. I mean,
Hey, hey,
I'm determined.
Haley says you have to be in a very good mental place to set time goals because if you
Yeah.
miss them, it could be harder. That's sort of like falling back onto that whole New Year's resolution. New Year's
Yeah.
resolution gives you the whole damn 12 months to accomplish a goal, and if you don't accomplish it, then you're setting yourself, I believe, you're
So,
setting yourself up for
so
failure.
my bariatric app that I've been on is set up with small goals, and it's basically just led me, to where I am now.
So you're saying,
It's never said lose 200 pounds. It knows I want to lose 200 pounds, but
right,
it's like, all right, let's get to the first 15. Let's get to
right.
the next 10. Like it's small achievable goals for the bigger goal.
So take,
So
yeah, so essentially take a bigger goal and break it down into smaller goals is what you're
yeah.
saying.
And don't give yourself too many things to try to accomplish. Don't overwhelm yourself. I mean, you
So
need there's
hard.
work on even if you need to, if there are multiple things you want to work on, break them up. Because I mean, we all have to work on mental health. And I'm not going to say put mental health on the back burner because I want to lose the next 25 pounds. I still need to
Yeah.
work on my mental health. But you know what?
Right.
I'm going to work on that in small achievable goals too. I need to work on myself in small increments. So by the end of the year, I've achieved where I want to be. So
Mm.
when I go into maintenance mode, I'm in the right mindset, I'm in the right lifestyle of, and I'm like I am ready to take on, the next stage of my journey.
Right.
And I'm learning along the way. And I'm going to learn who that person I want to be is. I might say one thing today, and we could be sitting here next year with the next season of shows talking about something completely different.
Right. So maintain focus, break down into smaller goals, consistency, you know, and expect the unexpected setbacks, I would say, would be a good way to establish some concrete goals. Like,
Yeah.
prepare yourself for certain things. And then,
Yeah.
but those things that I mean, somebody like me and what we talked about, you're always expecting the unexpected
Yeah.
because the bad things always
Yeah.
happen,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean,
Very intentional chat says, I find the more I work on my mental health and mindset, the more those other things fall into place. And I mean, that very well could be true. But again, you say that there are variables over the course of a year or over the course of your lifetime where there's going to be speed bumps and there's going to be things that could derail you. And those are the things in the past that have always derailed me, like losing weight. So my yo-yo dieting of like, oh, I lost 80 pounds here. Oh, I lost
mm,
60 pounds here.
mm.
Um, Something always triggered it. A death in the family, stress at work, losing a job, um, COVID. Those little things derail you and can really like screw with you mentally. That could just stress. Stress will lead you. Stress is horrible on the body.
Rags gets smaller. I'm thinking about like today and tomorrow, day to day. I don't know if that's good or bad at this point.
I mean, and I think Regs is pretty early in his journey. I mean, day to day,
Super early.
again, it's small goals. You know what?
Mm,
Get through that day. Give yourself goals. I mean, I honestly can't think. And again, I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm not, a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm
no,
in no way qualified to be giving people like medical advice.
nah.
And the only thing I can do is tell you what's worked in my journey, and I can just share what's worked for me. And taking it day by day is how I set myself up in the beginning because you know what? How could I think further out other than I just need to make sure I get 64 ounces in, on day two? Well, I wasn't getting 64 ounces, but I was going to damn well try to
Mm.
get there. And it was just small things, and it was just small accomplishments. Then, I got a little bit further this day, and I got a little bit further this day. So, I mean, it's those little things that add up, and those become the big things for us.
So at the end of the day, because we're coming down, we got about 12 minutes left. So
Yes.
at the end of the day, would it be safe to say, and chat, please, these questions that I asked Tony or he asked me, please jump in. We're asking you too. You're involved in this conversation.
And we actually
At,
had a great comment in there. I don't mean to stop you, but
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
we actually have something in the chat, and it's from our very own Bari Male Experience moderator.
Hmm.
Failure is not your enemy. Failure is your teacher. And that is a
Yeah,
great,
100%.
great, great thing um, to know because we do learn. We can learn from our failures. Now it's just a matter of whether we actually learn from them. We can, if we're going to continually make them over and over and over, then we're
Hmm.
not learning from it.
Hmm.
But failure is a great teacher. And if you don't want to repeat like what you've done in the past, you need to learn from those experiences to make sure that you're better, that you can make yourself better by not doing those same mistakes.
So what I've learned from this very male experience this evening, for me, is that if I'm going to achieve my goals, that I should probably just set a small, measurable goal for myself daily. Like, my goal for tomorrow is to go to the gym before work. So all I got to do is get up and get in the car and make it to the gym, right? Simple. Small, easy, measurable goals that break down into smaller tasks daily. I think for me is how I'm going to move forward. Do you have any suggestions of how you're going to move forward, or you already covered all that, Tony? How do you feel?
I think, Brett, so I think the path that I've been on, and I think like setting myself up each day, and that's the easiest way is just making sure that I have what I need for the next day, so I can make sure that I have the right things to eat and just having the right mindset. So when I come home, it's knowing, oh, I still need to, I haven't moved around enough. I didn't get enough steps in. I need to exercise. Is making sure that I'm actually following through with those things. I think my biggest thing is going to be staying being consistent with my fitness goals. Because it's very
Mm,
easy just to be like, oh, I'm going to come home, I'm going to hang out, kick my feet up, I'm going to have dinner, I'll work out tomorrow. No, I know that, you know what, I need to do something physical and I need to do something. And just being consistent with that. Are there going to be
mm,
days that I don't do that? Yeah, there'll be days, but I would rather have it be a day here and there and be consistent 5 of the 7 days of the week rather than just saying,
right.
yeah, I was consistent on 2 days and there's 5 days where I just sat around and just like, did nothing and sat on TikTok all day. So,
That's right. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll take this time real quick to assure you that it would be in your best interest to throw us a follow. And also, tune in every Tuesday for the Barry Male Experience at 8 p.m. Eastern Central Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, and I meant 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific. It's going to take practice, but we'll get there.
you know
Progress,
what I
not
think we should do?
perfection.
We should add it to the back there.
Yeah, right over my head. Yeah. But
Then you could just read
eventually,
it.
if we can get to 1,000 followers, then we can get rid of this and just straight up be live from our Barry Mail Experience TikTok page. That would be
Wouldn't
awesome.
that be amazing?
It
And
would be great.
I can't say enough of just the outpouring of support from the community.
Heck yeah.
We have been very, very active, and we have actually gained a very, large following in a very short amount of time. And I cannot like thank everyone enough. It really means a lot to both Rab and myself that you guys really feel the same way we do about the bariatric male community and the support that we all need.
That's
Um,
right. Especially with people like Jamie talking about she'll take us to the gym. She'll take us to the gym with her every Tuesday. That's what's up. Please do. Yeah, let's get to 50,000 likes. Can we do it in 8 minutes, 7 minutes? Maybe. Let's see. If
that is
not,
my challenge to all of
I
you.
appreciate all we got.
Get those
Hello,
thumbs
Tony.
warmed up.
Don't hesitate to share and follow Barry Mail Experience. We'd love to have you all for sure. Next Tuesday, Tony and I are going to be talking about um, eating a healthy lifestyle. What does that look like? And I mean that intentionally. What does that look like? I mean, we're learning. I'm 7 months post op, Tony's 10 months post op. We only know what we know, and we've learned most of those through the experiences that this bariatric community continues to share with us. And we appreciate every moment of your involvement in the chat. Also, if you had any questions or anything that we missed in the chat, please don't hesitate to DM myself or Tony D with those questions, suggestions like content, anything you'd like to see us do in the future. We would love your input as we move forward with this Barry Mail experience
Yeah,
that we
and
love.
if you guys, and when you do DM us, if there's something that you want us to read aloud during the live, because we obviously there is a lot of comments going on. It's been a very active chat. If there are things you want us to kind of throw out there and to like, if you have a specific thing you want us to bring up, let us know. I want to do something called mail call, and I would really appreciate, you guys sending stuff out because there are things that we missed during the chat, and I think it would be something good because there are probably things, the questions that people don't get answered, and if we could actually answer it live on one of our lives, and to have feedback from the entire community, that would be great. I think it would be a great thing for us to do.
Yeah,
If you wanted,
and also if people resonate with other people in comments, make sure that you're following each other in the comments as well. I mean, I see a lot of connectivity and a lot of communication and more support that each and every one of us need, or thirst for along the way.
yeah.
Javi, I mean, me and Javi, I don't know who Javi is. We don't talk ever, but 15 months post-op, that's a learning experience I need to gather. Look at
Yeah.
Brian. Brian at 30 months out. That's experience, man.
And I
And
feel
I
like I
need
feel
to.
like the some of the best support, especially in a lot of in lives where there's a lot going on, and
Mhm,
for us to like try to follow along,
mhm.
the support that goes on in the actual in the comments is tremendous because I feel like that's where I really got people started to actually interact with me, and I got to know a lot of great people just by being in the comments because I got a lot of good, I learned a lot from people just being in the comments, just by their suggestions, and I've been able to share those same things with a lot of people down there. So, I mean, being in the comments, you have an impact down there. So, being in the comments, don't feel like you're just sitting in listening to us ramble about, our everyday things. And like, again, we're not experts on this. We're learning just like you. Share it because if I don't see something, I know definitely someone else down there. Because if you can change one person's life, you're doing, a great service to somebody.
That's right. Um, Also, in the future, I want you all to realize that we got a lot of things, Tony and I have been talking about. We're looking to have surgeons on here. We're looking to have therapists on here and dietitians to talk to and work us through some of these experiences. That's all part of the plan. We also want to make sure that we're bringing up Barry males on the panel, so keep an eye on your DMs because we're going to be in them and looking for you guys to join us along this way. We appreciate all that you all provide us, as far as learning your experiences, using you as a crutch emotionally, mentally, and physically at sometimes at these Barry meetups. We can't thank you all enough for all the likes, the shares, coming to hang out with us the other day for 12 hours on that live that we did. That was amazing. It was a good experience. I learned a lot from a lot of different people, from all walks of life. And I'll say this over and over again from here on out. Bariatric Chris, what's happening? I wish the world as a whole was like this bariatric community because this is love, and we're just going to pour back out what we get in, from this community, and definitely appreciate each and every one of you for sure. Thanks, Brian. And you all make sure, get with us every Tuesday. Very Male Experience will be on here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Also, make sure, don't forget, we got someone on the other side. We are our sisters in this extension, very intentional chat every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Don't hesitate to log in with my sisters, our sisters, very intentional chat. Um, hey, 1 minute left. I don't think it went too bad, Tony. We held it down, man. The chat
Yes,
kept
we
us
did. This
together
was
like
this
glue.
was definitely a lot of fun. This was definitely a great experience, and I look forward to many, many, many more lives with you, my friend. and
Yeah.
sharing it with all of you down there in the comments. Again, we greatly appreciate all the support you guys are giving us, and we look forward to a lot of good content to share with you guys. And for a lot of the bariatric men, please keep your eyes out in the DMs. We want to share this experience with you guys, and we want you guys to share that with us as well. So,
Peace. Love. See y'all next week. Barry Male Experience. And Soul Train.
peace.